Draft your LCS team and earn money. Alpha Draft.
2-0 victories so far, but they're really struggling against EDG, who looked so decisive, so smart on the Rift.
And have Royal had a split yet? I don't know if they've
No,
gone
they
1-1.
have not.
All right, so this, as far as the current record goes, this is not good news, but we'll see what they can get done here against EDG. Thresh and Rengar are the first two bans there for them. EDG are on the blue side here, of course, and Royal Club on the right there. Our red team, Lissandra and Lulu getting banned out there.
Showing a lot of respect both to the Lulu pick in general. I guess they really don't want that Protect comp coming out. I mean, Protect the AD carry comps with Lulu have been around ever since Dignitas many moons ago, and their Mundo AD carry comps there. So they're getting rid of Lulu. That makes sense. The Rengar respect ban to Insect is very important as well. He's one of the few people that can really unlock the potential of that champion. Loves to go the full damage route. Loves to assassinate AD carries. EG all about the deft, but Pawn had quite the deft hand in that last game.
He really did here. Xerath, the final ban there for EDG as well. Royal going to consider what they want to go through, and it is very intelligently. Pawn's casted this from last game, but that does give Clearlove quite possibly his new favorite champion. Rek'Sai is onto the Rift again.
Rek'Sai, she's such a strong champion. She has such a lovely balance between being able to gank lanes and have that global pressure with the ultimate, but also farm really effectively. So it's almost Clearlove's two loves in one champion. He can do it all with this champion. It's so strong on this patch too. Of course, we're still on patch 5. We don't have the base gates. That's how you can know at home as the viewers. She's really strong, so that's a really momentous way to open up a draft for EDG.
Yeah, no ways. You know, the other thing that Rek'Sai, apart from all the things that make Clearlove happy, he can't have a nice tunnel network down to Def to get there quickly.
Absolutely.
So, lots of good things to love there for Clearlove as Rek'Sai, and of course for EDG's general jungle pressure as well. Clearlove's played very well recently, but Janna and Lee Sin are giving me the first two picks. Trademark champions for Zero and Insect.
Absolutely powerful picks on Star and Royal Club side. And we've been talking about just how much power Red side has been having in these drafts, because there's always 3 to 4 to 5 really highly contested champions coming through the bans. I think Rek'Sai is the only one you can really excuse when it comes to blue side advantage. Only really comes out when Rek'Sai is available, because that champion is so strong in this patch. And not getting through as well. This Wombo is already looking disgusting.
I can't imagine that Gnar isn't the pick here for EDG, and it is locked in. Azir and Gnar. Those picks are stupid on this patch.
I was
They're
grimacing.
dumb.
I was grimacing, Pastry Time. That's 3 picks right there.
And I mean, of all of the Gnars in LPL to give it to, you give Koro Gnar? Really? Did you see week 1? That guy's amazing on that champion.
And I hear Pawn's all right. I mean, I haven't seen his games lately. Did he do all right in the last series?
He
Did you catch
did
that?
reasonably well playing Casted. Apparently he was banned by Royal. That's how good it was. So,
I mean,
yes.
look, the Royal picks are strong. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, the Lee Sin, it feels like there's probably stronger things right there. And Clearlove's Lee Sin, it's okay, but it's not really something to be feared. And they're getting powerful picks as well. I mean, the Ezreal makes me smile, of course, remembering World Elite's big victory yesterday. The blue Ezreal could actually be quite useful here, because there's so much gap close that's going to come out of the Gnar and, of course, from the Rek'Sai. So it could be powerful if it is the blue Ezreal, but it's just not quite the same flavor, not quite the same level of picks, at least in terms of the meta coming out from Star Royal Club.
Yeah, and the Rumble great there for Kohler as well on the top lane. So another strong pick. We've seen a ton of Rumble in the LPL recently as well. But Royal, this just looks like maybe a bit of a misdraft. We'll have to see how they close out that team comp period. EDG are considering some things here. Mako might go back to the mouse special, does lock in the support Annie, and Deft of all champions has Sivir as his champion.
Definitely not the hard carry depth that's necessary right here. The Sivir-Annie combo has been the one that most teams have been trying to get, just because having Annie have access to all that extra move speed, it's not just the Flash Tibber stun that you're going to see here. She's actually able to get a second rotation of spells out and do another AoE stun. And I saw you grimacing because they're actually thinking about doing a little bit of interesting things in the mid
might
lane.
have tricked me, but we'll have to see, as Royal are going to consider their last pick with 10 seconds to go. Be interesting to see if they do want to run a double AD here. It could even be APS Royal, but that's a little less likely, and they have not. Yeah, they have locked in the Corki, so Ezreal is going somewhere other than mid, unless Korn's going really deep. We're going to have Corki mid.
I'm expecting the Ezreal mid here. That's my guess, just because Ezreal, of all the AD characters, is the strongest solo laning phase, because he gets access to level 6 that much faster and is able to get that AoE wave clear to complement his very long range. He's super safe. I mean, if you think about how much ground Arcane Shift covers in the short mid lane, he's by far the safest champion in the mid lane right there. And he has an excellent matchup against Azir, just because Azir is all about harassing those medium to short range champions. not words you'd use to describe Ezreal.
No, I wanted to highlight that as well. We've noticed that Xerath has been a very common pick into Azir. Ezreal kind of fulfills the same flavor there as well. But all of that aside, that's a good lane there in the mid potentially for Con. The comp is fine for Royal, but what on earth are they doing giving this team comp to EDG?
And you just see that situation where Na manages to get the double ultimate on some of these squishy members, because this is a very squishy lineup coming out from Starhorn Royal Club. Two champions with AD carry kind of flavors. I mean, Insect's going to get tanky, but only to a point. And Rumba's going to be focusing on that magic pen. So the damage potential, there's so many. I mean, all 5 members of EDG here do relevant damage. Even this support Annie will be doing relevant damage. Taking Ignite just for a bit of flavor as well. So I have to agree with you there. There's so much insane potential from EDG, whereas it feels like Starhorn Royal Club almost have to play perfectly to get into this game.
Yeah, I mean, if we could distill the first 3 weeks of LPL into, pick your perfect team comp, EDG might have got it here, but we'll see what Royal can do. We're going to get into the game. And welcome to our last game of the evening here. Week 3 of the LPL is almost at a close, and EDG are going to see if they can pick up the full 3 points here against Royal. They're up a game so far. We've swapped sides as well. EDG on the left, they'll be our blue team. Royal over on the right, they're our red side. And Royal have picked themselves in a pretty precarious position with this comp, so we'll see what they can get done early.
To some degree, it does feel, Pastry Time, like they've picked themselves into a corner with this comp. They have strong champions above the board. It's very weird to be saying that you've been outpicked when you got Zero playing Janna's trademark champion there. Cola's on Rumble. He's shown very good performance on that champion. It's Insect's Lee Sin as well. There's very strong picks, but this completed EDG lineup, the team fight, the laning, everything about it is so strong.
Yeah, if Royal have some trademark picks, EDG have a trademark lineup here. Just amazing picks on this patch. We've already seen pretty much every player on this team, with maybe the exception of Mako, who's kind of spiritually playing Mouse's champion Annie here. For this particular comp. EDG have a lot of things to do, but they have to perform here as well. And crucially, they need not just 1, but the 3 full points, from this series.
And this is the 24th game we've seen this weekend. I believe it's the first time Rek'Sai has escaped the picks and bans right here. That champion is so strong. We've seen it so sparingly in this first 3 weeks of the LPL. And I worry about the potential. Clearlove's already shown that he loves to play this mobile, tanky assassin.
We'll see here. The starts look pretty standard across the board. Looks like we're going to have standard lanes and standard jungle starts as well. They're both going to start on the same side here. Gromp into blue, over for Insect, and Crux into red there for Clearlove.
So the most interesting matchup to track is this Azir versus Ezreal in the mid lane. It's probably going to be a blue Ezreal, although it might follow Faker's build and go for maybe the Mana Moon into the Trinity Force for a bit of an earlier power spike than that blue Ezreal. But it's Azir finally outside of his comfort zone. He can't freely harass this very long-ranged Ezreal.
But if Pawn can replicate any sort of success that he had in last game on Castle, and Pawn to Azir is fantastic, then EDG are going to have one hell of a time in this game. And Pawn, he might be able to pull up another remarkable performance.
And the other matchup, of course, in the top lane, Na versus Rumble. We've seen this matchup a lot. It almost trades on who can get the best teleports off and really impact the first team fight. Is it the first Na transformation? Is it the first equalizer? But in lane, on very simple terms, Koro will just be able to freely auto-attack this very melee-focused Rumble.
There's a lot of play to this lane as well. Rumble, when he's overheating and flame spearing, does a lot of damage, so you do have to be careful. But in general, you're right. Na has certainly gotten the edge there. And EDG in general, very comfortable with their lanes. And of course, the team they'll be playing as well. Insect, for me, he's the man that needs to get going for Royal. He must create pressure on this Lee Sin.
And look, he's definitely got a champion that he's familiar with right here. We know the potential of Insect on Lee Sin. He has the early skirmish advantage over a Rek'Sai just because he's got just slightly more tools for gap close at level 3, but as the game goes on, especially at level 6, if we can see any sort of tunnel network being built up for Clearlove, he's going to be everywhere on the map. It doesn't just have to be Deft's lane. It's whoever needs help.
Yeah, Deft right now, slightly down on CS, but actually sort of keeping the wave in a very comfortable spot here, only trimming when necessary now as he pops the Ricochet. And Corki to Sivir is just so awkward for Corki because Phosphorus Bomb, your best tool, can't clear the waves for you and is not really a good harassment tool against Spellshred. And Mako just goes in onto Janna, chunks 0 to half health.
Yeah, mana management in this lane is so important for both AD carries, but mostly for Corki here, just because he's probably going to have to use that Phosphorus Bomb just for using it for clearing minions, just because, again, it's going to be eaten up, gobbled up by that spell shield. So it's a very awkward laning phase. And Deft, especially when he gets his first AD item, he's going to be super happy in this lane.
Yeah, Insect actually going to go take out the topside Scuttlecrab there. Really nice smite from Clearlove on the Wolfcamp. Revealed Insect coming into that jungle, so was able to spot him out early. The Gromp might be available too. Insect doing some counter jungling here, and I like the speed train that he's got away as well. Takes out the tunnel as well, so they know what's going on, but I like this from Insect. He needs to get aggressive early.
Yeah, turret dive not really a realistic option, especially as Koro is so close to that Mega Gnar transformation right here. The trades continue up top. He is Mega Gnar now.
Yep, gonna go in, it seems like here. Koro and Kola just fighting to the death. Kola has pot flames, but the Koro's in trouble and does go down. 1v1 to Kola.
A straight 1v1 at level 4. We were talking about peaks and troughs of power in the top lane. Level 2, Koro is so strong on that now, able to get that hyper, get the auto attacks, and do some percentage health damage. You have to respect the level 4 from Kola. He was level 4 first. Once you get 2 points into that flame to have your other abilities, you can do so much damage if you overheat. And that's the second time this series that Koro, by far the best performing top laner in the LPL, has been 1v1 killed by Kola. And this is a Kola looked very good in the previous series yesterday, has been starting to level up and put his carry pants on. It might be his turn again.
Yeah, but the Rumble and the micro spikes can just make the matchup so complicated. And Kola, as you mentioned, does get the upper hand there against Koro. And that is not, those are not words I expected to say coming into this series. So really big props to Kola. Win, lose or draw, he has had a fantastic showing already.
Right, in terms of CS, obviously doing fine. He has that ranged auto attack. He has wave clear with the Q in the top lane. So he's doing just fine right there. Looking into the mid lane, it's very even. It's very even across the board right here. Of course, 100 gold is the advantage. It was actually to EDG. It's now all even despite the fact that there is that one kill.
Yeah, I wonder where the early pressure is going to come from here. Is Insect going to pull the trigger on a gank, especially once he hits level 6? Hasn't been too active apart from being in Clearlove's jungle a bit. Good poke there from Pawn as well, but Korn answers in kind, but Pawn really abusing the range on that Azir. Going to poke Korn down to about 50% health.
And Koro for the first time in what, 2, 3, 4 games? Finally, we've seen Clearlove calm down in the jungle. He's no longer looking to gank. He's already power farmed to level 5. Look at the CS advantage. 6 CS, so 2 camps. Already is the advantage. No interest in visiting any lanes until he gets that level 6.
Yeah, Clearlove's bloodthirst has been sated for now. It would appear. Pawn going to clear out some minions here. Pump level 6. And we'll be good to go for the next team fight. And again, we saw an early dragon from EDG, in the last game. Not going to be the case here, it seems like. Insect does pop in towards the top lane, but Koro not falling for it this time.
So looking at the Korn item pickup, so he's picked up the tier, which will be the same regardless of whether it's going to be a blue Ezreal or the Trinity Force, more standard Ezreal right here. He actually picked up a second Doranblade just for a bit more laning stats. He's not confident in entering lane with just no laning stats against what's going to be the Morellonomicon rush from Azir.
And just look at the Clearlove neural network there as well. He's on the way down the bottom to save Deft. He's one true love. But it seems like there's already some problems actually. Wise gone in. Deft off to the side as Cole is teleported down. Maker could be in trouble here on the Annie. Deft going to run in with the Ricochet. That's a good 3-man start. Clearlove in there with the flash knockup as well. And there's the first kill for Rek'Sai. 1-for-1 there in that trade, but Deft very low. Good as to Rumble as Cole gets the double kill, and Clearlove no answer. He actually has to be careful. We're going to die to Rumble here. Clearlove going to go down as well, and Cola tallies in for the triple.
What a massive triple kill. Shades of PDD coming from Cola right here. 4 kills already. The very early Seeker's Arm Guard. My goodness, the magic penetration duo and this Arm Guard become so early as a part-time. This is too much. This Cola is far too strong now.
He's just going off. This is what I think Shades of Go going yesterday on Rumble again in the same matchup against Snow. Let's see that again.
So very early here, the equalizer's already fizzled right here. Mako's still alive, and you see that Rek'Sai is going to be the first person to get here. This 2v2 actually looks pretty good, but Deft, he turns around and does no damage and just dies to the overheating Cola. He's misjudged the damage of a level 7 Rumble. Of course, how did he get this strong? He got that solo kill earlier. He's traded on that with a wonderful teleport timing. Koro didn't even have teleport available. There was nothing he could do to counter it. And this Rumble is just disgustingly strong.
Yeah, we talked about members from Royal Club stepping up with the absence of Name still being felt on their lineup. Didn't really expect Cola to mega revolve there on Rumble. What a ridiculous performance so far. 4-0, all of the kills on his team. If the team is getting on someone's backpack, it's in the max suit here on top of Rumble.
I mean, Cole has put up his hand and said, tag me in, coach. He's done it right here. 4-0, so strong. Even with that Hex Drinker, just nothing that Cole is going to be able to do in an advantageous lane matchup for him. He made one mistake at level 3, died to that level 4 Rumble, and his whole team has paid for it.
Yeah, we'll see in EDG, the Immaculate Dragon Control faltering once in the last game here, continuing to falter now as well against Royal, so really strong control there. Royal will nab the first dragon here against EDG, and if they win this game, given the lineup they handed to EDG, that will be a feat in and of itself. And the performance already is amazing.
And kind of the flavorful thing about how strong the Rumble is here, of course, we're talking again about that tier Ezreal, a huge power trough for the Ezreal right now. Does it really matter if you have a power trough compared to the Morilla Nomicon on Azir? Of course, in the 1v1 matchup it does, but in a team fight, this Rumble is going to be disregarding people left, right, and center. He's over-leveled. He's so strong, and he's going to make up for any power troughs in other lanes.
Yeah, we do often talk about Rumble being a bridge for a lot of comps where they want to kind of get people through the power trough. This is a pretty big bridge that Cole has built here with Rumble as clear back through his jungle. He did be farming here, almost done with his warrior enchant, so ready to go. And top lane problems for Korra yet again, getting dove now, and Insect's going to go back in. There's the kill. He might go down. It does indeed the trade there for Korra. Korra will take it, but again, Cola still going off.
Not an ideal trade from Starhorn Royal Club, though. They commit a lot of resources there. And in the mid lane, Korn's eating a lot of damage.
Yep, Cleaver's in the top. Pawn did hit damage, but Korn is almost dead there as Pawn got aggressive there with his hit. Didn't even need his ultimate. That's just the poke coming through. And then Morella Nomicon really boosting Pawn's early game power.
I mean, the amount of power difference between a Morella Nomicon Azir and some, at the time, just a tier double Doran's Ezreal. I mean, until Ezreal gets the sheen and whatever that transforms and on top of everything, very, very weak, as we see. The Shriek comes out around the map, and of course that just means that the Golem's going to die.
It means Clearlev's in the bottom lane. That's what that means.
Sure.
Whenever you hear Rek'Sai ultimate, assume Clearlev is
Someone
coming
should
to
keep the
this.
stats on that one, because he's not going to the top side of the map, especially with this Rumble.
And Def down the bottom, continuing to farm. About 10 CS ahead of Corki, so not too bad, despite getting slaughtered in the bottom lane by Kohler and Clearlove. The resort has been reopened for business here. He is camping for Deft a little more now.
It says a lot for the strong lanes and the fundamentals of EDG, though, that despite all this kill disparity, it's only they're 500 gold ahead. Of course, part of that is going to be the global gold from the turret, but they are CSing very well in these lanes, even with obvious deficits like kills.
Yeah, it was good for Pawn to get that turret. Ezreal fells the Sun turret, though, so a bit of extra gold there for Royal. Dragon up, of course, for Royal as well, so I can't forget that advantage, but a very close game here. And EDG haven't quite shown off their team comp yet, but Royal have shown a lot of signs of life, and credit to Insect as well. He's gotten much more involved in this game.
And just like we're crediting Insect, we need to credit Pawn in the mid lane, has taken down Ezreal's turret at 11 minutes. This isn't an AP Ezreal. This is an AD Ezreal. He does have the ability to auto and, of course, build up that passive and try to control away. Take down AD Ezreal's turret. I don't think we've seen a quicker solo middle turret kill at 10 minutes right there. It opens up so much space for Clearlove to get into the enemy jungle, put down some aggressive wards. It gives them advanced warning on any of Ezreal's movements right here. And Pawn, he hasn't got any kills yet, but you know he's not done after that first series. He wants to carry once again.
Yeah, Pawn is looking good early on here in this game. Scuttlecope cleared up there for Clearlove as well. Infinity Edge almost done as well for Sivir, as Def has all but the recipe itself. Dragon next up in about a minute 40, so EDG have a next timer to try and work their fight around. And Koro is not going to have his teleport, I don't think, so they're going to have to be quite careful.
And look, even if it is a 5v5 fight, it's going to be, does Kohler hit even a serviceable equalizer, or does he not? That's basically the big deal here, just because so much of this team's gold, so much of this team's power is on that Rumble.
Yeah, he's got about 800 gold up on his lane opponent there, Korra, which again is not what we expected in that matchup. Building seems like a Haunting Eyes after the Seekers plus Sorcerer's Shoe, so we'll have the really nice 2-item power spike that we do see all the time from Rumble, and should be level 11 there as well, or might be as well, level 10 currently, just dinged that. So if he's level 11 especially, that's a lot of help to that next dragon fight.
He's probably about 5 minutes ahead on his build right here, just because that's a fully stacked Seeker's Armor. But in the bottom lane, Insect's going in.
Insect does go in. Good juke there from Mako, though. And forced to flush away as any, but Insect came in there with the smite. So that might not be up for this next dragon. It'll be close, if anything else. And Mako's going to ward up. Looks like EDG might be prepping for this next dragon fight.
It is excellent gank timing, just because a minute before Dragon blowing Annie's flash just ensures that Tibbers is not going to be straight on the top of your backline right there. So important summoner. You mentioned the summoner trade. Of course, Smite will be available again by the time Dragon comes up. But yes, you note the teleport disadvantage right here. Kohler really wants to back. He hasn't been able to spend his 1,400 gold, which would have been Haunting Guys and potentially a Blasting Wand on top of that. He's going to just abandon his turret right here because he realizes that Dragon is a more important objective than this top turret. And I think EDG are going to have to accept this trade, take the top turret, and just get the hell out of the way of this Dragon.
Yeah, we'll see. Deft is very close to his IE as well, so won't have that if they want to fight. But we'll just be finding Koro and Meganar now as well. The Naba not going to be available here. We'll take the tower, as you mentioned, for the trade. And we'll see what Royal want to do. The Dragon is up now, so if they want to fight for it, they can just go in.
But it's going to be basically, they're going to be in the gold advantage, of course, because no longer the global gold coming out from Dragon. Rumble will go top. I imagine this will go uncontested from EDG, but look, the teleport's not that far from Koro. So if we see the full rage bar, there is still the potential in about 20 seconds time.
Yeah, decent vision coming through as well. And Royal are looking for a pick, it seems like, first before they really go in for it. Clearlove down towards the bottom, and he knows that things are about to happen, and action seems like it might be unfolding in towards the bottom. There's Zero and Insect sitting in there. HOI trying to act delicious there in towards the bottom lane. But Deft not buying any of it. Seems to have pretty strong vision around the dragon area.
Koro's freshly shopped, so that's important if we do see this dragon fight. Doesn't have any rage whatsoever. So if they initiate the dragon right now, Koro's going to be a fairly trivial force, especially compared to his lane partner Rumble.
Yeah, it looks like Blue Ezreal is the call there for Korn as well. Has his Mana Mino done and the Glacial Shard now as well. So still a bit of a power trough there for Ezreal, but pumped up a little bit by the item pickup. And this delay of the dragon, if Deft can go back to shop, and get that IE before the dragon fight starts, that's a big boon to EDG's mid-game team fight.
Yeah, again, it'll be basically, does he hit the equalizer? If not, EDG probably just edged them in a fight.
Yeah, Kohler crucially level 11 now as well, so ready with the level 2 equalizer. And Haunting Guys is done. Even got a Negatron cloak, possibly an Abyssal coming through early on, but is going to be very strong against the anti-initiation potentially, and of course the pawn damage coming through as well.
I mean, the Abyssal ensures that both the foe AD carries do a lot of damage.
Insect
in trouble.
getting destroyed. That's an amazing ult there by Pawn. The equalizer does come down, but Pawn's already got a kill. Deft is charging in with the ulti. Pawn gets crushed down by Korn's ulti, and Korn now trying to join the fight. Kohler get chunked out as well, but Ezreal with double buffs, that's a good shield there from Deft. He might be able to get away. Clearlove not quite. No, he is actually right there. It's Koro they're looking for, and he's teleporting in behind. It seems like EDG going to try and close the trap here. Clearlove wanted to go in. He flashes forward, pops the Praise Seeker. Koro almost at the Nara with full power, but Korn gets a free kill onto Clearlove. Koro though still chasing in now. Goes in double Nara ulti into the wall. Boomerang Blade in as well. Pawn comes in for another kill, and there's the 3, and that might be the dragon as well.
Clearlove valiantly sacrificed himself so there was enough time for Koro to get his rage bar up. He was only a few orders away. He gets it here, but crucially they do not have Smite available. So Lee Sin will try to poke his head in, but so much damage. Looks like they're going to DPS it too fast.
Very well fought there by EDG. That's the team fighting we expect from this caliber of team, and they'll take out the dragon with a very nice fight around the jungle.
Yeah, Koro, credit to him. He timed his teleport very well there. We're going to see the replay here. We're all waiting for the teleport. You see up the top lane here, still Koro doesn't have the rage. So we see this fight starts with the pick on Insect. He dies instantly. The equalizer is a good zoning one, but Mako doesn't actually take that much damage right here. And then it's all, as we wait here, Korn actually goes in aggressively. He's used his Arcane Shift here. The rage is available, the teleport comes in, and that's the really big goat sign for EDG. They understand just how strong this Nara is. Clearlove basically suicides here. He's like, all right, I'm going to die, but I'm going to get them in a bad position. You can see Korn's eye is flashing before his eyes. He sees the transformation come in. Double Nara is huge right here. The DPS comes through. They take a dragon off it. One little engage from EDG.
And such good patience for them as well to wait for Koro to build rage. He was busy attacking minions to get the rage going, and they just kited back around patient. Didn't even need the Silver Ultimate. And Koro back on the Nara, it seems like, after a bit of an awkward start in the lane. Really strong team fight.
Clearlove matching Loveling, who made very similar plays, sacrificing himself for the good of his team. When junglers can really open up space, make good decisions, and understand, all right, I'm in the middle of the jungle. This Nara ultimate, when it comes, it's going to be devastating one way or the other. He sacrificed himself, and his team got the benefit for it.
Yeah, Azir's power is on the rise now as well. Needlessly large rod is done, plus the stinger there. Bottom turret does go down there. HOI fells that for Royal Club, so they will even up the turrets at 2-2. But Pong with double buffs now. 172 CS to 156, still ahead there in that lane, and looking to make a big impact on this map.
I mean, when you compare the impact of Pawn at 3-0 with those items against this current Ezreal right here, Ezreal literally does less than perhaps a siege minion or two. He's really struggling right now. He has some good long-range poke, but he doesn't have the Iceborne Gauntlet. And the build only really gets going when you have the super obnoxious Iceborne Gauntlet procs coming out. You're supposed to be ahead in items on your lane opponent just because your gold is spent so cheaply, but Cole is in trouble in the top lane.
Yeah, it seems like Pawn has actually found a few friends here. Insect kind of going with the damage. Good ult there from Kohler actually coming in, but Koro in the Mega Knight's already popped his ulti, so Insect is a little low in health. He has to be careful. Pawn going to go and look for the damage. Sand Soldiers move forward. Koro pops the rocket into the back to try and slow someone. But a little bit of a reset coming out here on the fight. Now Royal going to try and defend their tier 2 turret.
But the mobility of both Gnar and Rek'Sai was able to get them out of the equalizer almost instantly. We actually look here. Basically everyone other than Annie Siva has the ability to instantly disengage from the Rumble ultimate, and there isn't any AoE synergy here in terms of control. They kind of need the Iceborne Gauntlet constantly reapplying to give them just an extra slow to ensure they stay on the top of this equalizer, because although he's fed, if he's in front line and overheating, he's going to do massive damage as Kohler. He doesn't have a Zhonya, so he's going to die instantly as well.
Yeah, and because the lead for EDG as Korn picks up the blue buff for himself. 2,000 gold ahead currently for Edward Gaming. So a decent lead. I believe it's 1-1 on Dragons now as well. So they've evened that metric up as well. Intact looking to go back now. Koro down the bottom, just clearing some minions out here. 154 to 142 CS has caught up after a very horrible landing phase, which is not normally what we associate with Koro.
And about 500 gold until we see the Iceborne Gauntlet transformation coming for this Ezreal right here. So still in such a massive power drop, just especially relative to his lane opponent. EDG are rotating very well. They're going to take this bottom turret right here. They're going to take the lead in turrets now, having all the outer turrets. This next dragon, we're going to see Iceborne Gauntlet come in, but this Ezreal is so far behind.
Yeah, Mako hiding off towards the side of the bottom. Good dodge there from Pawn, actually, as Royal are trying to take this turret, and Pawn says, no, I will use my Sand Soldiers to block you off. And 3 members of Royal go running with their tails between their legs here. Pawn is, again, a stellar performance on another mid lane champion.
And he's up there with Cool this season for easily the best mid laners in the LPL. So much consistency Pawn brings right here on such a range of champions. To have someone who provides consistent results on Assassins, on Wave Clear, on any flavor of champion, it's a massive, massive pickup for EDG.
Yeah, we'll see here as well as Deft well on the way with his item build also. It has been done for quite a number of minutes. We've almost got the static shift complete as well. Trinity Force Sork Shoes done for HYY as well. Korra getting tanky with his Banshee's Veil now complete to go along with the Hex Drinker plus his Ninja Tabi. And Clearlove now going full tank here on this Rek'Sai. Just has the Warrior Enchant with his jungle weapon and is now just going to move into a bit more of a tanky build.
Iceborne Gauntlet's come through, so there's plenty of control now available from this blue Ezreal. It has double buffs, so it is in a position to be really impactful in a fight. But the one thing I want you guys to watch, Mako has the flash up this time with the Tibbers. So if he can get the choice Tibbers on at least 2 of the priority members, I'm not sure if even Royals Cola can do anything in terms of a team fight.
Yep, distorted mobility boots there as well for Mako's Annie Makako Tabe special from the way back in the day. He's going to look to initiate on some people if he can. And we've seen Mouse from EDG play this champion. Mako had a great Janna game in game 1. Looking good here on the Annie as well. So the additional, I don't want to say substitute, the additional support player here for EDG having another great showing.
It does feel like that he has more of the disengaged flavor in terms of his picks, just because we've seen 3 disengaged pickups from him so far. But doing equally fine on this engaged support. I'm waiting for the first really big flash Tibbers to really say if he's Mouse tier, because Mouse was wonderful in Annie. It was his most picked champion from when he's seen him. And again, substitution has that negative side to it. It's more of just using your squad and the squad rotation idea. It's what we see in other sports, and that's what we're starting to see in League of Legends as well.
Yeah, seen it in some other teams, certainly in the LPL and around the world, as Pawn continuing to have another great game. We've said it a couple times. He's 3-0, just finished his death cap now as well, so he's going to be pretty good around this next Dragon fight. Insect crushing Rek'Sai tunnels. Trying to collect a little bit of gold for himself, but Dragon back in 15 seconds. Royal have to make a decision. Are they going to contest? If it's only the second Dragon, but if they're going to fight, they have to kind of decide to do it now.
It's impressive that both teams basically have a space control, locus of control feel about them, because if these Sand Soldiers come down, there's no way you're walking through that choke with the Stinger and all that flat AP coming out from Pawn. And then the Equalizer, we just haven't seen an Equalizer that justifies all the gold that's been put onto Cola right here. But he's just not set up to do it. It's not Jarvan. It's not Rumble Jarvan, the excellent AoE lockdown that provides the Equalizer so many ticks of damage. He's been lucky to get 1 or 2 ticks of damage on multiple members of the team.
Deft actually down towards the bottom as well, going to push there. So Pawn going to move in with Clearlove and try and defend the 4-man push that Royals can make it 5 actually as they rotates in. They're not going to get it. They're going to maybe keep pushing here as well. But Nara and Sivir up towards the top. Pawn going to use the soldiers to clean out the minion waves, but can't get in range to issue more auto attack commands. Has to be very careful here. The tier 2 goes down in the top. The tier 2 goes down in mid though, and Royal getting very aggressive. Deft actually still pushing.
He's actually prompted the teleport out of Cola. We'll have to make evasive maneuvers right here. You have to imagine Starhorn Royal going to try and cut him off.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. Corey going to bounce in onto Insect. The Rage almost at maximum. The Deft going to move in as well. Deft's actually now getting caught by Corey, but he's turning it around. This gets so much damage. That was an amazing Boomerang Blade. And 1v1's that Ezreal. Now the Monsoon's going to kick Corey back, but Mega Nara is here. That's a great 3-man Nara into the wall as well. Now Mako going to follow up. Doesn't have a stun, but EDG again, a great 2 for 0.
Corey's starting to turn it on right here. Some of his laning has been a little bit lazy. He's died twice in lane across 2 games to solo kills. But Deft, you said that he'd been caught. In fact, he was the one that was doing the catching right there. Unfortunately, the blue Ezreal, when you're caught, when you're on top of him with all the mobility of Sivir, he doesn't have the defensive items to deal with it.
And the thing as well about Koro, his Nara is just so good. And yeah, he may have had an awkward landing phase. I don't think he's quite there with Going, who's just unbelievable as a laner in the top lane, and of course in other facets as well. But Koro's a fine player in and of himself, but kind of fittingly for EDG, he's a strong team fighter, and his Na really demonstrates
Absolutely.
that.
The team fight identity is strong among all the members of this team, perhaps no more so than ClearLove. He's had a quiet game here, but he's such a late-game team-fighting beast on whatever champion he's playing. EDG looking strong across the board in terms of lineup and performance this game. Korra's hit basically a 2-man Nara ultimate and now a 3-man Nara ultimate, and they will continue to get structures and neutrals from that play.
I guess a quick question for me here, Papa Smithy, is in terms of how the comp works, EDG, a lot of this comp seems very mid-game focused, but Royal Club kind of feels the same way. Is there some sort of late game that we should be looking at here as we move through this game?
It's actually very balanced in terms of late game. I mean, maybe Rek'Sai basically outscales Lee Sin just because she's so strong on this patch. Annie maybe gets outscaled in terms of engage, disengage flavor by Janna. Of course, her disengage is far superior, and the engage of Annie becomes more difficult in late game team fights. Wow, that's a very aggressive Rek'Sai ultimate coming out there. Are they going to start the Baron to be a bit much at this point?
Perhaps Bloodthirsty ClearLove has returned, though. At least try and get some vision around it as Mako going to help ClearLove there and clean out almost all of the vision there that Royal had around that Baron area. Looks like Korra down the bottom is in the Dragon Pit. I think he was clearing out a work for himself, and EDG got themselves to a decent lead, 4,000 gold ahead, and now up a Dragon as well. Down in turrets, interestingly, Royal Club have done a good job rotating around and picking up the standing gold for themselves there, but they haven't quite had a fight yet.
The Azir turrets, of course, worth noting here.
Every time.
The Azir turrets are very, very strong.
They definitely better than the casters, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
That's the counter to Shoutcaster.
Don't worry, it's coming in the Observer mode one day. I have faith in that one. But I mean, the big advantage here, Azir late game compared to Ezreal. It sounds like a weird thing because Ezreal with double buffs late game is wonderfully strong. But the thing you have to mention is that Blue Ezreal has a very cheap item ceiling. He gets to 6 items faster than basically any other champion's full build. And Azir, I mean, Azir's ahead of him already here and will only get more ahead as the game goes on. So really need to pick up the next big item. I guess the last Whisper might be the next pickup. It could be the Blade of the Ruin King as well. But Korn needs to get going because he's the one that's really going to fall behind in this game.
I'm sorry, Papa. All I'm hearing from this patch is that Rek'Sai is strong and it nerfed casters. That's all I can get out here.
That's all you're going to hear, huh?
The pawn, though, in the mid lane now. 265 CS, really far ahead of Korn, actually about 40 up there. And not really surprising, he had a great Kassadin game. It's continuing here on Azir, a champion that I feel like has seen a lot more popularity in the LPL recently. But Pawn was maybe the man in the LPL that led the charge on that champion.
Look, it's a very new champion. It's worth mentioning here. But people are just streamlining the builds, fitting in the Stinger. No more rushing the Nash's too, thankfully. But it's just so strong. I mean, he can even go a defensive item here. It's usually been the Zhonya's that we've seen from Azir, so that he has that burst damage and get into a fight. Now he's just tanky. He has sheer tankiness of the Banshee Veil, and Pawn is going to initiate for his team. That's what he does on every champion. I feel like even if he was picking Katarina, he'd be doing plenty of initiation. And, of course, one of Pawn's favorite is the Katarina, so he has the initiation flavor on every champion he plays, and it adds a new dynamic to a team that consistently would get to late game and then look to force a fight around an objective rather than have a decisive initiator like Pawn.
Yeah, Dragon in a minute or so now as well, but Baron is a very juicy looking objective now as well, so teams going to try and get their vision. Mako and ClearLove will return to the Baron pit to clear that vision up. Baron gets a little angry and does quite a bit of damage to ClearLove, actually. Not messing around there, but Korra down the bottom, split pushing with his teleport. Deft and Pawn will join in now as well. Pawn nearly with the level 3 ulti there as well at level 15. Leandre's done for Rumble there as well. I mean, there are good items here for Royal, but they just feel a few steps behind still. Ezreal, though, probably most meaningfully, has now got his 2-item spike.
And I guess I just wonder for Korra. He did so wonderfully well. He's still 4-0-2. He hasn't died this game, but how can he really impact a team fight? How can he get that picture-perfect equalizer without EDG making a mistake? Without them walking into a crazy choke, just because there's so little setup there, you really have to spitball and say, all right, if Ezreal is really locking down the team consistently on cooldown with that Iceborne Gauntlet, if Lee Sin gets a 5-man kick into a wall or some sort of crazy situation, sure, but it's definitely not a comp to enable Rumble.
No, and that was sort of our question in the draft as we follow ClearLove zipping around the map swiftly towards Deft. EDG have a great team comp here. If they could handpick themselves any team comp for a game, they'd probably pick something very close to this, if not exactly this. What the Royal really bring in a big team for, though, EDG onto this Dragon, they're going to take it out very quickly, and Royal might try and contest here, but again, what does a winning team fight look like here for Royal?
Well, we're going to find out, maybe.
Well, Mako going in there on the tip is good kick. They're actually coming in, and the equalizer goes down, so they're going to get the first kill for Corner, but clearly is diving straight in there. Zero with a great ultimate, though, but Cora's in the backline, just romping Edgewell into a wall. Deft is now moving in for the damage. Pawn gets closer now as well, and that's a 2-for-1 trade. They're going to look to dive now as well. Deft going to get the double kill there as Cora locks him there under the turret, taking the tier 2 with him as well. 3-for-1 there for Royal. Insect actually might be taking it here as a Clearlove wants to go in. He's zipping him away. Good smite there coming through. Insect does get away. Looks like they're just going to run in for the turrets.
I mean, to answer your question, it's not a team fighting comp here from Star World Cup. It's all about the poke. You can see how obnoxious this comp might be when ahead, but that was never found, especially in their mid lane here. Pawn put on another clinic, and this Ezreal never managed to scale up. They never managed to have that mid-game rotation from the Corki. Notice we never even talked about Corki's power spikes, and just the fact that this 0-1-5 Corki, there never was the grouping and taking of turrets. They have a decent amount of turrets, but it's just mostly those Azir turrets for Starhorn. And if they ever got ahead in the mid-game, specifically the Ezreal, if it was the 18-minute, 17-minute Iceborne Gauntlet, Trinity Force, and Sorcerer's Shoes power spike, Starhorn would have looked great, but right now, they're struggling.
I mean, Mako might be in trouble. Insect and Zero have found him. Insect trying to kick him back. Does do so. Kara actually teleporting to save his support. Mako, though, the heal does come in for death. So clutch there, and Insect now in a whole host of trouble. Kara bounces over the wall, finds the boomerang there into Insect. A good NATO there. Might keep him safe, but the Hyperprocs almost coming in. Insect gets away with a sliver of help, but Pawn in the meanwhile is all the way down towards the bottom, just taking out Ezreal under his turret.
It looks like the friendship on EDG does not stay between Deft and Clearlove. The heal actually blown by Deft there. So much split pushing coming out from Pawn. They'll take the Baron as well. They'll have everything.
That W damage onto the turret is disgusting by Azir as well. We talk about Azir being decent in the siege. Ult coming down for Rumble actually onto the Baron. Clearlove might have to back off here. No, they're going to kite it around. Koro will be the main tank there instead. Deft coming through. This is a little bit dangerous now for EDG, but they're going to try it. Wards in the back getting thrown up, but cleared up by Mako. Pawn actually solo kills Ezreal out of the tower, so never mind there. But the Baron coming in. Pawn gets a tower, going in for the Baron. Cleared up, smites it under pressure. And EDG just winning all across the map.
Yeah, winning across the map. Pawn with the turret dive onto Ezreal right there. Nothing he could do in comparison to the item spikes going on. The amount of gold, it's 3,000 gold between the mid laners right here. Despite the fact that we never really called Pawn's name during the game. He just kind of did his things quietly, got a huge advantage, and just monstrous in this mid lane.
Bubba Smithy, why is Pawn so good? That's all I can think of watching EDG play, especially in this series.
He's just been insanely good. His laning is so impressive, and his team fighting and his willingness to engage. He's just a complete player because he's both a strong laner, he's a team fight initiator, and he's a smart player, and that's the trio you're looking for.
Absolutely, especially on a team like EDG. The Void stuff done for Pawn now, so if he couldn't get any stronger in this game, he's found a way to. Deft as well is powered up. He's gone completely damage build here. Doesn't have his last whisper done, but is halfway there. The Infinity Edge Bloodthirster and the Static Shiv already done. Rek'Sai's even coming through. Clearlove busting into the tunnel. EDG are looking to close out this game.
And there's no rush on the last whisper because you look down this lineup from Star and Royal Club. They don't have a true tank, and they have, what, a Zhonya's for armor? That's a lot of damage coming out from Sivir.
Yep, we've seen it already. EDG haven't even really had a full 5v5 team fight. It feels like maybe one around the Dragon earlier on, but Pawn is going to melt through turrets with that Azir.
He's sitting on just a lazy 538 AP, has the attack speed from the Stinger, has some unspent gold. Feeling great is EDG. Pawn especially has been wonderful this series.
Yep, decent wave clear there for Royal. This could take a bit while, but the Baron creep's going to make this pretty trivial, it seems like, for EDG. They've got great siege as well. Sivir not the longest range AD carry to get in and hit the turrets, but they've got more than enough tools to take this out.
And Starhorn Royal Club, again, when they're ahead, they're like the poke comps of old. The Nidalee comps we all see grouping and taking turrets, sieging really well. But when behind, whenever a poke comp goes behind, this is the result.
Oh, Pawn going in, just obliterates Corn almost. Yakin shifts over the wall, but he's still there. That was a play from Pawn there. Second kill going in there as well. And EDG might not even need the last inhibitor. This game looks over. Corn getting dove in there as well. Clearlove hanging out in the back. I think Deft, no, he's never mind. He's clearing the structure out. Good double knockout. They're coming to Cora. Eats a bit of fountain laser because why not here? There's the next kill coming through for the 3-0. And EDG are going to take another series 2-0.
A decisive victory from EDG right there. It was looking different base time. Early in that game when we saw the teleport come in from Cola, the 4-0-0 Rumble, we're like, man, this Rumble could go insane. And look, in terms of sheer power, in terms of items, the Rumble was huge, but the Rumble synergy, it just wasn't there. This poke comp almost had a Rumble. Maybe they were going to use it with a similar flavor of the Gragas of old, using the zoning powers of the Equalizer around a structure, but look, the team comp didn't work out. Once the grouping started, once Poland started impacting it, it was just a one-way street. And we're going to go to a replay to really get kind of that flavor of this game. So we roll the replay here. 28 minutes. It's going to be a fairly late game fight coming out. EDG walk in. It's going to be finally Mako gets that flash on. Actually misses it, but it does hit onto Ezreal. Dies instantly, but it doesn't matter. Clearlove goes into the front line and wait for this Nara. A double Nara on Insect and HYY. In the back line, Def's free, hitting full health, mostly full mana. They can go as hard as they want. Korra's not dying anytime soon. They get another kill. And this is what happens when a poke comp falls apart. You could just monster through. Korra was ignoring everyone's damage. They had decent poke damage, but no consistent damage. Korra walked through, deft everyone else behind him. People died.
Yeah, and with that, we end another wonderful weekend of the LPL. But just to remind you, we have the Oceanic Pro League starting this week as well. The OPL begins on Thursday at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, so you can watch that as well. The LPL, of course, will be back on Friday as well from 4 p.m. So on behalf of myself, Piper Smithy, Atlas, Spawn, the entire Live Productions crew, and you lovely viewers watching at home, we will see you next week. There is so much